Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to Orone 254 Network once again. Of course, Orone 254 Network is coming to you to ensure they educate you, to inform you, and last we're going to entertain you. And sometimes, depending on the guests who bring the platform, we're going to have some motivation conversation, inspiration conversation, and sometimes we're going to intrigue your mind by having intriguing conversation. In the building today, a very beautiful year to us. We have the oldest guest in Shea bring on the Orone 254. Nataka tujue tuzungushe moja mbili tatu tujue how the model of the country ilikuwa pale nyuma, vile mambo ilikuwa pale nyuma, because he's the oldest guest, the older guest on the Orone 254 network. But today we have our amazing guest, our amazing friend of Orone 254 network in the building. He identifies himself like ATAMBO JANAI, or we can go with chief. Tunasianga pia chief pia inatumika hapo sana sana kwa business bar.
I was actually wondering that now you're calling me ATAMBO JANAI, I'm the chief, not the village chief. The other time we were seeing on news people are calling Ndini Nyoro the chief of the mountain. Please, I'm not the chief of the mountain.
You're the
I'm
chief
just
of what?
chief, yes, my
Chief.
chief. Yeah, sure.
Hii jina chief mimi ilikuwaje, mambo ilikujaje, ama ilikuwa interest part of
I'm
something?
named after a very prominent chief. He was called ATAMBO chief. So by the virtue that my name is ATAMBO JANAI, so at home my dad and my cousins and my siblings, they call me chief. So that is how I adopted that name. But I rarely use it, but when I go home anytime they call me chief. So I said yes, let me accept the name.
Then you are mentored by that chief?
You know, when we're talking about a chief, traditionally chiefs are known to be people who solve disputes, and more so mediators. Chiefs are known as mediators, and in most cases through my life I don't like conflicts. I always like it when people are at peace, when people are doing the right thing, and when people are holding hands together for a better tomorrow. And that is why sometimes they call me chief, because mimi hata nikiwa nyumbani kule huwezi pata watu mambo yanaenda mrama. I like it when things are straight and when people are at peace. Yeah, sure.
And chief was a prominent person maybe?
Yeah, he was a very prominent man. He was actually the only chief in that area. And you know, those days an area was so big. Unlike these days, we have locations, sub-locations, and even villages. At that time, when you are a chief, you are covering almost a constituency. Yeah, sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, here tuko na chief in the building, and you must be ready to be educated at this episode. As you can see, tumeanza ida level up iko sawa kabisa. Tuko na chief in the building. Tunasema maybe being the oldest guest umekuja na Orone 254 network. Tunataka maybe to pick your mind maybe on some things, maybe in the issue of the country.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe hapo nyuma.
Yeah.
Maybe how was the mode of the country before this thing, maybe the kina Uhuru, kina Kibaki wakuja in the government. How was the mode of the country?
First of all, we say that change is always inevitable. And I like it when I look at some few quotes. There is a quote I like that says, "Don't ask what your country can do for you, ask yourself what you can do for your country." It is very important. Change is inevitable. You know, I've been with a few youths, and most people are complaining that things are getting worse. If you look at those back age days, again, people are still complaining that things are worse. So, do you really think things will get better?
I don't know.
It is individuals who will get better. It is you who can get better. Don't wait for the country or the world to get better for you. So the only opportunity you have is now. Appreciate the things that are there now. Of course, during Moi's era tulikuwa na maziwa ya Nyayo, si ndio?
Yeah.
But there were still some things that people were complaining about. There was no connectivity. You could not talk to your beloved ones. Like, for example, right now you can be speaking to somebody from the United States. Connectivity and technological advancements. People were yearning that other countries have advanced technologically as we have not advanced. Are you saying that? Now we have that technology that people are yearning for, but again people are talking about other issues. Money in the pocket. You know, people are comparing money in the pocket during Moi's time and now.
Yeah.
That time we didn't have M-Pesa and other things.
And then
so
going to 200 shillings.
Yes,
something
you see, by that time the population was a bit manageable. Most issues were not there. Let's just be very sincere. It's like your family. When you only have one child. Okay, let's start. When you're a bachelor, you have your girlfriend. in your single house, single room or bed sitter there, things may seem to be tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
But again, you get a firstborn, things will not be the same. You get a secondborn, that firstborn gets to 20 years. If you had only one bed, do you think you're going to have again one bed in that house?
No.
You'll need to advance, you'll need to expand. And let me tell you, the truth is, anytime anything is expanding, people have to feel the force. I see. Especially those ones who are not prepared for some changes that we undergo as a person, as a people. So for me, I think that the transition that we've been having, political transitions, they're normal things. And trust you me, you might say today that this government is not good, is not bad. I'm not in support of government. I don't want to take sides. But any government to come again, they will impose their own bills and rules. You'll still feel a pinch. How you say that? Yeah. So the only thing I want to urge anybody that is viewing me right now is that just be prepared. Be prepared for change which is inevitable, and not everybody will accept change. You know, I realized during Corona time, unajua tunasema kwamba sisi wananchi wako chini ndio tunaumia.
Right.
During Corona time, there were people who were building story buildings.
Right.
There are people who had invested that time. People who were purchasing cars, expensive cars, machines. So people were making investment, but others, we were crying and saying, sasa hii corona imetuletea shida, imetufanyia nini? But others saw opportunities in that. Take an example of Msanii group, these gospel singers.
Yeah.
When I was listening to the inspiring story, I realized that kumbe wao waliona, how are we going to entertain people now that people are indoors? And they began. How far are they right now?
Very far.
It requires you to just take a step.
By the way, Corona time, even the content creators right now,
they got opportunities.
Yeah.
So please, things of course are tough, but we cannot say they were better yesterday. We cannot say that. We cannot say they were better during Moi's time. They were better during Kenyatta's time. There were other issues that were disturbing us at that particular moment. Are you saying that? Yeah. So that moment you solve this problem, it does not mean that your problems are over. You realize that you don't have a coat because you are feeling cold. You wear a coat, you will feel again cold on your bald head, and now you'll be looking for a coffee. So your problems will never be depleted. So let's just be prepared to support each other and move forward.
Now that you have said that everything, maybe people should change themselves right at this time, how do you think about this government? Do President Ruto means well for the country?
Now you're taking me and driving me into politics, which I really wanted to avoid. I really want to do an editorial, but of course, people are suffering. And the only thing I want to speak is, I want to speak from the point of view of the health sector, which does not choose who is getting sick today, who is not getting sick today, whether you have money or you don't have money. Are you seeing that? The president came with an initiative that he wants to bring what you call universal health coverage, SHA, right? That is going to at least ensure that everybody is getting amiable services from any public hospital, sometimes even private hospitals. But what is the situation on the ground? Have you ever gone to referral here?
No.
Have you ever gone to county hospitals here?
In Kitale, yes.
Yes. What is the condition there? Most people are crying and saying, Sha haifanyi, Sha haifanyi. What are we doing about it? What were ground wakipatana na rais, they're telling the president, this thing, it is working. And you know, I'm speaking this, and it's not news to the president, because he knows, even Salasia was saying the same thing I'm saying right now. But the truth is, the people surrounding the president are the ones who are driving him the wrong way. They're only using those people on the top there to tell the president that things are going on well. Are you saying that? But ukifika kwa ground, mimi I felt when the president amekuwa western hapa. You know, sisi wananchi wakati mwingine, they could have told the president ingia hapo hospitali, tembea.
Yes.
Look at the condition and the situation there. Why was Magufuli loved by his people? Because he was a man of his people. He comes to the ground. He does not come to give you false promises. Oh, tumepatia wanafunzi sijui 20,000 sijui walimu wameandikwa sijui ngapi. A president should not be doing that.
Yeah.
A president should be coming to the ground to ask, what do you lack? Not what I've done for you. Maybe whatever you did, milk yenye ulitupatia iliishia hapa kabla itufikie sisi. Now you are telling us of the good things. We have not enjoyed those good things. Are you seeing that? So the president, when he's moving around the country to tell people the plans that he has achieved or is trying to achieve or is already achieving, please get to the ground. I expected the president, as he was touring the western region, he goes to the hospitals, he checks the roads there. Asikuja kutuambia eti ile barabara ngumu ya kwenda mbinguni ndio anaona hapa na anatucheka, and is the president. You see, sometimes it should get serious.
Right.
All right, he should get serious, and a president should not be campaigning when he's at work. Let him work. Let his work campaign for him. All right, he should not come and tell us what he has done. Let us feel what he has done. Right now we are having taxes, housing, what, and so far as an individual, I've not seen any plan that has been made by the government to ensure that this is the strategy to ensure that we are going to divide these houses, we are going to distribute them equally without racism, without favorism. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Take an example here in Eldoret. We are having a housing project here at Pioneer.
Yeah.
We are waiting. We are waiting to see what is going to happen. We will be back here on this show and I will tell you what could have happened.
And do you think it's a good idea of this housing levy?
Housing levy was a very bad idea. Because, you know, you are taxing somebody with 60 years already has a house. All his children are employed. His wife and him are employed. Now, let's not talk of 60, somebody who has retired. Let's talk of somebody who is 50 or 55 years. He's retiring in the next 5 years. He already has his own investment. He has his house. His wife is employed. You are taxing them that they will get a house, a babysitter. I see that. So I don't know which initiative. Maybe they are using that money to help those ones who cannot get the money or something of that sort. He did not explain this project so well to us, because sometimes when I look at my payslip and I realize that I've been deducted some percentage to go for the housing levy, a house which I'm supposed again to pay for me to own it, a bed sitter or a 1-bedroom or a single room. To me it sounds like a joke.
Doesn't make sense.
To me it sounds like a joke. We'd rather be tasked for other services like health. Because health, it can help so many people, and we can take that as CSR, corporate social responsibility. We are giving back to the society.
Right.
But these houses, which can be overturned by the next government. The next government can come and say, now this house, the rent is going for some government budgeting. So please, I don't think that was a good initiative. To me, I brushed that and I say no.
And maybe to come to the advisory team of the president, do you think the advisory team are doing their work?
The jokers. Serious jokers. I think we began there, and we have to call a spade, not a big spoon. Because number one, when you're talking about the advisory team of any president, number one, we need to know this. Any president, before you go vying for that seat, you must have your own brains. You should not be incapacitated. You should not be insane. You must have your own brains. You must have your own agenda and objective for your country, not selfish interests. Your advisors are coming as watchdogs of the ground. What is happening in the ground? What is the common mwananchi saying about A, B, C, D? You have come with this bottom up, whatever. And now you've said that we have SHA, we have housing, we have ABCDs. Your advisors should be coming back and tell you, now this one is not working. Mr. President, please, unless you change the tactic or you remove this.
The same thing I was thinking, like the president is not distracted in a good way. Leo say this project, tomorrow this project, you can succeed, and the project is on.
You cannot kill, how do you say, killing two birds with one stone. You cannot kill 50 birds using one stone. At least achieve one thing. Why do we remember the late Mwai Kibaki? More especially, leave alone the piki-piki, the motorbikes and other things. Leave alone those ones. The education sector. He did so well. He did so well. But remember, during Kibaki's time is when people went to the streets to demonstrate about Bamba 70. Wakati mahindi gorogoro ilifika 70 shillings. People went to the streets. They were not satisfied with that economy. But now when we flash back and look back, we say that that was a better economy. That is taking us back to where I began by saying that let us not wait for any better. Where we are at our better today. The only thing we need to do is at least let us have leaders who are not lying to their people. Let us have leaders who are not campaigning when they are still in that particular seat.
Right.
Because when you're campaigning is when you come and use this tool called propaganda. Why are you using propaganda and you are in government?
And the president is not even a halfway of this in 5 years.
Are you seeing that? That is the only malady that we need to eradicate. Yes.
And then coming to the issue of corruption, do you think it's very good, it's a good decision of taking bursary into the hands of politicians to defeat the other people?
Some of these things should be totally removed. Let politicians remain to be representatives of their people by speaking for them in parliament. I think this CDF and the bursary should be removed from politicians. You saw what happened just the other day when teachers' letters were being distributed by members of parliament. That is pure politics. Sure. You want to give a bursary to a student, the first thing you need to see is a voter's card. And not even a voter's card. Whether they voted, you go to the system to confirm whether the parents voted. And if sometimes they can even go further to confirm whether the parents voted for them. Then we're talking about equality, we are talking about impartiality, we are lying to ourselves. So some of these programs should be removed from the politicians. Let's have a single body. Come and help, the help. Let help distribute. But we tried, a litmus paper was done about the funding model for universities, and you saw it was evident that a student mwenye hata kwa hawana mbele hawana nyuma anawekwa bandi yenye anaenda kupewa pesa kidogo. Ule ambaye babaka ana drive Range Rover amewekwa bandi ya pesa. So what can we do as a country? Really, we need to be realistic. We need to tell each other the truth that some of these politicians are playing politics even with the lives of people whom they had vowed holding a Bible to protect. Are you seeing that?
Right.
The constitution they vowed to protect is the same constitution that they are chewing. And it is not good. Yeah, sure.
So the bursary should be taken directly to the schools.
Let the bursaries be taken to the schools. Who knows the abilities of these students?
Oh.
They are teachers. Go to the teachers, they will tell you, mimi huyu mwanafunzi akona bidii sana. Lakini ikifika pesa 50 ya preps hawezi lipa. Na unaona sasa shule haiwezi survive bila huyu kulipa. They will tell you and help you identify who can be helped and how much. Instead of putting it through MPs are getting their pockets heavy through those bursaries. That is why you saw them very adamant that haifai kufanywa hivyo, I don't know what of budget, control of budget should. No. They feel and they know that is where they're getting the money to pocket and take their girlfriends out, some of them. As a country, we should not get that direction. Let us get it to help. Let us get it to let the Ministry of Education handle these funds. Because they know, through the teachers, through the principals and headmasters of schools, they know which trainees or which students are not able. Yes.
Right. From Chief mwenyewe ATAMBO JANAI in the building, acha chukue kopo la maji kidogo. Then we'll be talking about, I have some two things to talk about my people, that is Anonymous Entertainment Crew, and the second thing is SweetTech Enterprise. Anonymous Entertainment Crew, they are all away from Dubai. They are in Kenya right now. They turn parties into memory. Last time we were in Kisumu Auto Launch. You should get in touch with them to entertain base for quality entertainment. Second thing, SweetTech Enterprise, they are new partners on Orone 254 network. They have quality product. You want some scrubs, you want some uniform, you want some blazers, you want some quality suits. You should have SweetTech in touch to you. You have never seen this place, you need to check this video out. Rico,
welcome to SweetTech Enterprises, where sewing becomes art. We provide tailoring, embroidery, sewing, and fashion design services. We have all types of uniforms, school sweaters, unisex clothes, packaged shirts, formal attire, dresses and gowns, scrubs, dust coats and lab coats. We are located at E550632 or 011-283-8977. You can also email us through sweetekenterprises@gmail.com. Remember, ready-mades are always in stock. Sweetek Enterprises, where sewing becomes art.
Okay, that is Sweetek Enterprise. Maybe you have never been there. Their number should be on the screen to guide you. They're in Eldoret right now. If you know the Olo Street, opposite Rocky Driving School, second floor is where Sweetek Enterprise they are located into it. In the building, you have ATAMBO JANAI, the chief in the building. They think within a who is getting hot, is getting hotter sana, and to ambia how the things the government inafanya, how things should be moved on, how the bursary thing itakuwa nini, lakini inazidi kusonga polepole hapa in Orone 254 network. Again, back in the game. Unasema I have to steal your mind maybe in something again.
Yeah, sure.
The state of the country right now, the abduction case.
That is a thorn in the flesh. First of all, we have been seeing politicians brushing shoulders with each other. And the only thing they always come out and say is, touch me, but don't do what? Don't touch my children. How special are your children from those children that you are abducting? How special are your children from those children that are being shot, dead, headshots, when they are going out to fight for their rights? Who is lying to who here? I don't want to mention names, but we have seen those politicians. Mimi kujeni mwanaume handle mimi, but msiguze watoto wao. Lakini mama analia kwamba mtoto wake amepotea. We saw a father crying because the son has been abducted. They are not moved an inch. Then you claim to be serving Kenyans. Who are you serving if you want to eat your own people? Is it a man eat man society? Which kind of society are we in? We saw a story of C.S. Muturi, right? I don't want to misquote Justin Muturi. Don't want to misquote it. He said that he called Nordin Haji. He even went to the office of the president to find his son. Now, assuming my son has been abducted, I don't have Nordin Haji's number. The only number I have is my sub-chief's number. Do you expect I will get my child back?
Where?
If the CS took all that time for him, for his son to be released, and yet he has all that connections, what about these Mwananchi who is crying for their rights, but nobody is listening to them? So please, as a government, let us speak what we can do. If you are saying about equality, let us not have special kids and the kids that are not special. Let us not have kids of great men and children of weak men. Let us serve our Kenyans equally. Let us have a service that is portraying fairness and balance and impartiality. So you're abducting a child today. These days, I'm assuming if we do not have social media, most people could be going missing.
Right.
Most people could be going missing, I'm telling you. And I want to plead to the NIS, the National Intelligence Service. You know, sometimes, yes, you're doing your work, but you're not handling animals. You're handling human beings.
Right.
And to the extent that you choose to abduct somebody or brutally arrest somebody, and sometimes I wonder, sometimes they are arresting women who have not resisted arrest. You know, if you come to me, if maybe I've said something offending, you just come and tell me, hey, ATAMBO, please, come out, we go. But now you want to beat me up, you want to bully me, you have not even introduced yourself, then what are we doing?
You're in a civilian.
It's, you know, you're handling your people as if you're handling mad people. You see how you can handle somebody who is mad? You go there prepared, or you're handling a criminal. You go there prepared because he might fight back or something. But this is somebody who is just a keyboard warrior, an online critic.
Yeah.
You're going there, 20 of you, then you are pulling that person, bullying that person, arresting him in a bad way.
And they're the people they put into government.
Really,
I think elected you to the government.
I think we need leaders who love their people. I think we need leaders who understand their people. Bearing in mind that a hungry man is an angry man. People have a right to be angry. They have a right to get mad. But
But why are they mad? We need to go back to the drawing table. Why don't we deploy and make sure that these MCAs go and listen to their people? They go to the MPs, or the MCAs can go to their governors. Are you seeing that? When we go to the national government, let the MPs listen to their people. Let them go to parliament and table things that are touching on the lives of common mwananchi. Let us not behave as if we are all middle class. We're not all middle class. Some of us are low class. Tuko chini in terms of economy. Some people here cannot afford sukuma wiki kwa siku. I'm telling you. But when politicians are campaigning, we were there, we understand you, we do what? Then we tend to believe them and we vote them in. Then tables turn. They change. Are you saying that? They start saying, oh, 60 bob ni pesa kidogo kwa mkate, iongeze ifike 80. Because now they can afford that 80 shillings. They're forgetting that once, at some point, what do you think everybody can afford 80 shillings for a bread? Not everybody. We are not even talking about bread. We're talking about sukuma wiki. 5 shillings or 10 shillings for sukuma wiki. Not everybody. But the wewe sasa umeonana umekuwa millionaire, umepata kamshahara, umekula pesa tax. Sasa unataka kukanyagia mwananchi wa kawaida chini. But bear in mind that who are the majority? Ni hao tu wenye wako hapo chini. So again, let us not lie to ourselves. You as a politician, don't lie to yourself. Because most of the times we get self-interest taking us over. You go, you beg the common mwananchi, they give you the kuras, then you go and vanish in Nairobi. You start talking there. We have these politicians when they have sweet tongues. Kuongea. And I will criticize. Kwanza wacha wako opposition. Wacha wako opposition. I don't want to mention people. When they were in opposition, they were talking. They were on the side of common mwananchi. Sahi walieko kwa serikali. What are they saying? They are on the side of serikali. Yeah. They cannot criticize the same serikali. That is how our levels of integrity are low. They are very low. That is how our levels of saying the truth and standing for the truth are low. We cannot face the truth. We cannot call a spade a spade. We're trying to call it and sugarcoat it and call it a big spoon, which is not good. So politicians are just there. I don't know now which kind of leaders we need in Kenya for us to save this country. Because if we continue with the lies, we continue with lying to each other, then as a country we are headed the wrong direction. We might be claiming out there that we are headed the right direction, but the truth is we are not. And we need to work on that. We need to change on that.
Right. Politician, as you heard from the chief, things on the ground see vizuri, mambo ya ground ni mbaya. And maybe I want to still again your mind kidogo. How do you think the Gachagua replacement itakuja ku have maybe a fruitful maybe hapo mbele
impact in Murima and other things? The only thing I want to tell people right now, let us not be divided according to where we come from. Let us not vote because of Murima. Let us not engage our politics. I know some of you will do that. I know. But I tell myself this: I as an individual, as ATAMBO JANAI, I will not vote based on politics or tribe or friendship. I'd rather not vote. All right? It's like this seat of the women representatives. I've not seen the essence of that seat in our constitution.
Those big seats, spend corner skia pale recommend ya kwanza sama if he vie for the presidency. This county, the 47 counties is what is for nothing. These seats are just seats ya women rep kuna seat ya
a lot of money is going there that can help these poor children who cannot access education. Why can't we give them an opportunity to access education? Are you saying that? Wameanza kunipigia, they are saying that I'm saying the truth about them. But we don't fear, we have to tell them the truth.
The truth.
Because that is the truth. That you are a politician. Some of you are occupying some offices that are not helping the Kenyans. Let's get back to tribal politics. I want to assume that we are learning our lessons. I am here in Uasin Gishu. I come from Nyanza. All right? I vote my person because we come from the same region. I'm getting myself here. Am I getting services from my region because I voted my people from my region?
No.
I'm enjoying the Uasin Gishu services here, which are nationally. Are you seeing that? So please, let us look for leaders who are visionary. Somebody could ask, how could you know? You know, sometimes we Kenyans, we need to tell each other the truth, that inafikanga tunasema mtu wetu. And let me speak this. Somebody was asking me that if you have these and these leaders, and I told them, I like this gentleman called Fred Matiang'i. I do not like him because he's a kissy, because he has a track record of what he did. You've been given, you have served in an office for 60 years, but how to introduce hata maji kukunywa kwa hiyo ofisi? You have served in an office for 10 years. You have never introduced anything new that can be remembered for you, that you can be remembered for. Kwamba wakati ambapo Orone 254 alikuwa director wa hii studio, tuliletewa fans, tukaletewa dispenser, na vitu kidogo kidogo. At least every government, every official should have an impact. That is why I was even saying the president should even minimize the cabinet that he has. Right. Let him minimize those people. Let him be doing an interchange every time. And he calls a meeting and tells you, now, what have you done? These are the success stories of even these organizations that are surviving. Are you saying that? So he needs to have changes. Are we saying that? So that we can have leaders who are visionary. But at that moment, we are basing our politics in tribes, on tribes, I mean. We will never get it right. Because if we are talking about Rigathi Gachagua, I have no problem with him saying watu wa mlima, because everybody is saying watu wa western. Ukienda western, they are saying watu wa western. Why are they not asked about that? Ukienda Nyanza, watu watasema watu wa Lakeside. Ukienda Kisii, watasema sisi kama Umogusi community. Ukienda Ukambani, watasema sisi kama watu. So everybody is talking about that. Ukienda watu coast, wanasema sisi kama watu wa coast. I don't see any problem with him saying sisi watu wa mlima. Are you saying that? So that was pure politics, and that was really absurd from our members of parliament. They could have looked for, wacha nikwambie example, watu ambao wamejifunika blanketi moja, don't interfere with that things. Nyinyi kwenu mnaambiwa hiyo? That is from where I come from. Tunaambiwa watu kama wamejifunika blanketi moja, don't. Today the lady will come crying to you, or the gentleman, si ndio? He will cry and say, huyo mwanamke, and you will give him bad advice. Utamwambia sasa mimi achana na huyo. Kesho wamerudiana. Right. Alaanza kusema huyo jamaa alikuwa ananiambia nikuache. Who will be seen stupid? You. Definitely. So these people, what the MPs could have done is to try for means of bringing peace between the president and his deputy. But we didn't see that. That is how violent our country is. That if they see that you are touching somebody, they will not even ask why you have touched him. They will come and beat you and remove you from their sight. They could have looked for other ways of bringing peace between them, so that we as Kenyans could see, indeed, our members of parliament have tried. Right. Or even not all members of parliament, even a few, the majority leader and even the minority, they can bring peace together and say, hey, Mr. President, mulianza vizuri, mulikampeni vizuri, nini inaendelea? But now taking an initiative of impeaching a deputy president, according to me, was not a good move. Maybe they had their own political moves. That's why I'm saying that we are served by a country where most leaders are having self-interest. Wako na ubinafsi wa hali ya juu, because they are seeing, how am I going to benefit? Let me tell you, by you praising the president and sabotaging somebody else is not giving you any fame. It is just confirming how you cannot stand where there is truth. Making a lot of noise during funerals, misquoting people, abusing people, your fellow leaders. We should not see that as a country. Right. We don't want to go back to what Silvano Sosoro and Simbarati were doing during a funeral. They want to exchange fists, and those are the leaders whom our children are looking up to. We don't want to get there. We need leaders who know how to control their emotions. Right. Leaders who know how to conduct themselves in public, so that we can save the generations that are coming.
Right. And speaking of the political tribalism, maybe on tribal thing, do you think the tribalism thing gonna be end in Kenya?
Tribalism is going to end, though it will take a lot of time. These days we hear children are called Mark James, so you may not even know where they're coming from. Somebody is called precious patience. And the mother is a Kikuyu. She's married to a Luo. A Makisi married to maybe a Kipsigis. A Kipsigis married to a Maasai. So this culture of intermarriages, I really want to encourage it. And it's a good thing. It's one of the things that will end tribalism. That moment that a child does not recognize their tribe. But now when we go back to our cultures, I cannot stop teaching my children my mother tongue. I will not stop teaching my children their culture. So these are contradictory issues that we really need to figure out. How are we going to end this tribalism? And I say this kibarua, I want to leave it to watu wa kanisa, sindio? Walimu shuleni, that instill values. There is a way that you can grow. Of course, you are a typical Luo man, but you don't portray your Luoism from your speech, from your dress, and other things. You see, I don't like hii mtu akisema eti baba akisema amesema. Baba akiniambia nifukuze bibi yangu, nitamfukuza. You know, that is primitivity. No, those are some of the things that we need to remove from our brains, right. From our mind, so that we are fresh and sober when we are making political decisions. When we are choosing our leaders, we are sober and fresh from tribalism. Are you saying that? That is the only way we can save our country and the only way we can help each other. And we are looking forward to a government that is accountable to common mwananchi. I heard the president saying, oh, we will be accountable. Oh, my government will be giving back on what they have performed. But when the youth went to the streets, most of them were killed. But what did they go to do? They went to look and say that reject this bill. Most of them were not armed. I saw a policeman beating a lady who was just seated outside parliament. Just seated, imagine. Na akakuja na rungu na akamtandika. These are things that are there kwa mtandao. So to me, I see that I think we need to go back. Reform. Start with the police. Reform those guys. Come to common mwananchi, reform those guys. Let us set a culture that is favorable to every individual. A culture that is not supporting tribalism. A culture like what Trump said, that is merit-based. That not because this is Eldoret, that you go to any office, all the top people there must be Kalenjin. You go there, 3/4 must be Kalenjin. We should not have such kind of a society. Let us have inclusivity. That you go to Mombasa, you find 50 Kalenjins and 30 Coastarians. I see that. You come to Asingishu, you find 50 Coastarians and 20 Kalenjins. Inclusivity. But all those should be based on merit. Si mutu wa lugha yangu. You go to big offices, I've visited some big offices, and you find people speaking mother tongue. That is weird. As a country, we should not head that direction. Yeah, sure.
Maybe kidogo, before we wrap up the political story side kidogo, you have heard maybe the MP of Kapsaret, when he was talking about that hii Kenya mtu hajawahi rule for 5 years, when nani utoke kwa mamlaka. How do you take that case?
You know, we have communication skills, and there is something we call qualities of a good communicator. And good communicators, first of all, they must be objective. Objectivity is very key. And when you're speaking something, you know, sometimes we misinterpret how we talk to our wives in the house, our children in the house, or our clansmen in the village, and how we address the common mwananchi or all Kenyans. You know, Kenyans have brains. Kenyans think, you know, in your house you can tell my eldest son is a D- student, my second born is a D plain student, and my last born is the A student. Now when you want to misadvise your children, or you want to talk to them the way you want, you send away the A student because he might question your actions. Are you saying that? Then you address these ones and tell them, now you need to do this and that. But this is a country where people are professors, people are very learned, people know what they are doing. Now when you're telling us that no president has ever served for 5 years, according to me and him, it is very true. indeed there is no president who has served for 5 years up to now where we are.
Yeah, right.
Or there is?
No.
There isn't it? So whatever statement is trying to derive, his analogies are very true.
It's like 2027 I'm with you.
No, let's not get there. I'm here. Which year is this? 2025. Up to now, 2025, we start from 1963 up to now. There's no president who has served for 5 years.
Right.
Are you saying that? But are we saying that there is no president who can serve for 5 years? We should not say so, isn't it? Because we are not yet in 2027. So let it not be a miracle for us to have a president who is serving for 5 years, and let it not be because it's a culture that no president serves for 5 years. Whoever that drafted that constitution and said that a term takes 5 years was not stupid.
Right.
They were in the right thinking mind. So this issue of saying it's like they're trying to portray a message to the Mwananchi that you vote or you don't, we already have a plan. But I want to assure Kenyans, from my own school of thought, I don't believe in rigging of elections in our country. I don't believe that. Personally, I said kwamba hii mind ni sisi tujibebea akili zetu, si ndio? Tusiwe na hizo fikra. Unajua ukiwa na fikra kwamba kura zinaibwa, hautaamuka kwenda kupiga hiyo kura, juu utakuwa unasema actually. So politicians want to sell that fear to the Mwananchi so that you don't go and vote because you are sure that hata nipige kura nisipige huyu atachukua. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like a system in Kenya. Trust you me, your vote counts. Right. Your vote counts. And the plan right now is that 2027 tutakuwa na wale wanaitwa polling clerks ama wanaitwa nini?
The clerks of
agents. We will be telling wakihesabu kwa IBC pia sisi tuko na form 34A tunahesabu so that we know. You know, Kenya is now connected. Mimi nakupigia job na kuambia huko Kisumu kura zimekuja aje. By jioni tuko na hesabu yetu tukingoja watuchanganye huko juu. Then they'll have to bring accountability because we really need a fair elections. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine today and I was asking myself, whoever that again drafted this constitution of ours, I need to correct something. The president should not be involved in anything dealing with IEBC. Not even any politician. That is an independent electoral and boundaries commission. That how is the president again the one to select a panel to go and do I don't know what? The president should not be involved because at the end of the day, I'm the president, you are my panel. Yes. Right. When you become my panel, I will tell you now mkienda huko niweke mtu fulani hapa. It is the truth that we cannot hide from. It is the truth that we cannot run away from. So I think we need to go back to our constitution and again and restructure a few things. Like a sitting politician, not even a president. Politicians should not be involved. Let's even get things kama easy AU, international bodies to come and look at a panel and get the panel, and out of merit, that panel let them constitute that body. Why should the president be involved with IBC? And we claim it's an independent body. That is where, again, I think experts out there who are watching me, please help me understand that, because I think that is where we start sabotaging our electoral system. Ndio maana watu wanaamini kwamba kuna system. But I assure you Kenyans, there's no rigging. The leader you have in mind, go vote for them. Come 2027, it's not far. It is not far. But let's get sober leaders. Leaders who can transform. Leaders who mean what they say. Not leaders who only have propaganda. Leaders who quote problems. I told people, my preferred candidate, and quoting problems. There was no politician who was telling us now the solution we have to our problems is the ABCD.
Only Wajakoya had the solution.
Only Wajakoya came with a solution, as much as it looked so weird to most people. But at least he is a leader who is coming with solutions. Why are we living in a country where people are just quoting your problems each and every day and they're not coming up with solutions? And you expect us to go on? No. Go forward? No way. We need leaders who are coming up with solutions to our problems. People can argue and say, Ruto has brought SHA. I'm not criticizing the president. I'm just speaking the truth as it is. Right. We had an NHIF. People are not living outside. These houses, whatever you're talking about, we are not living outside. Are you seeing that? Right. The only thing I'm seeing that is being sabotaged is the education system. But now, without education in a country, what people would you be leading? The education system that Moi and Kibaki struggled to make sure that it is on its toes. So please, we need leaders who are coming up with solutions. And don't come, find me sleeping on a mattress that is 1 inch and bring me a 4-inch mattress, and yet, sina sufuria ya kupika. I don't know whether you're getting it.
I'm getting
that. Don't come. Already I have this water. Now you want to bring a tank so that I can get more water in my house, and yet what I'm lacking is something else. I don't have where I can sleep. So give me first where I sleep before you add this. We had NHIF. Why should we rush to SHA? Are you saying that? So let us not rush. Let us not rush. We could have tried this thing. System ya SHA hata ni juzi tu nimeona imeanza ku log in. I was trying to log in even to know how much I've paid. Nakato tu mshahara. So, but if you say that to people, they will say you are an enemy of progress. But that is the truth.
Yeah. And then coming 2027, do you think we should sustain these people into power? Power in that for long. Since me, I was born, I've been having Raila since I was born. Since I was born, nimepata ule MP ule wangu tu ameniserve for that period hiyo ref. Do you think 2027 we need to do a change?
I realized one thing from the Ruto's government, that one of the ways that you can sabotage the voice of the Mwananchi is to hold the parliament and pocket it, the Senate and pocket it. And when you do that, you realize that even the finance bill that was claimed to be rejected is at work as we speak.
What?
But nobody's asking any questions. These taxes you're seeing that are being imposed were already there. So that moment we have independent MPs, members of parliament. And please, our watu wasuti, you know, I think this is something the imetuletea shida. Watu wasuti, not this suit, sio hii suti. Watu wasuti kwamba kuanzia juu kama ni UDA hadi chini, si ndio? Kama ni Azimio hadi chini. That is where we are getting it wrong. This leader will not have people who can advise him, because already nyinyi ni watu wa chama yake. What will you tell him? Nothing. But that moment we have leaders from all other chamas, inclusivity that I talked about. It becomes so easy for you to manage the head of state.
Right.
It becomes so easy for you to manage his actions, because he knows watu wangu hii kitu itabidi wakiniambia ni no. But ukipata wewe uko na majority kwa parliament na nimesema sha si sha itakuwa sha. Parliament wamepitisha mbio, Senate wamepitisha, koti wanakataa. Siku hizi tumeona viongozi wakubwa wana commit contempt of court. Viongozi wakubwa wale ambao wanafaa kuwa kielele, those ones who are supposed to be examples that we need to respect our courts, they are disrespecting the courts because of mamlaka. Sai koti ni summon mimi nikose kwenda. Si polisi watakuja wanitandike mateka hata before nifike huko nimekufa. Baya. But these big leaders who claim to the big G's, they are really defying the courts. They are disrespecting the courts, and nobody's talking about it. And we want to claim that our judiciary is independent. But again, I want to call upon the judiciary. That moment you start sweet talking with the government, with the executive, you get it wrong. Na kikiwaramba sasa mnarudi tena kwa wananchi. Tumekosewa. But juzi mumekuwa kwa gizani huko. Mnapigana hugs. So please, let us have an independent executive, legislature, and the judiciary. That is the only way that we can save our country. But without that, trust you me, that moment the executive has pocketed the judiciary and the legislature, it will be so hard. Whoever that drafted that constitution again knew that the only way we can keep the executive at par is by having the legislature as independent and but squeeze unaona president hadi ndiye ana control nani anafaa kuwe majority, wewe wekeni huyu minority, wekeni huyu speaker. I think we need to get somewhere. We need to change a few things from our constitution, all right? Yes, speakers are biased because ni wa first hand man wa president. President wacha tumwachie cabinet apambane nayo. Hizi vitu kama speaker, hata speaker watoe women rep tupigiange speaker kura. Of course. Tutajisaidia kama nchi. Yeah.
Hey, naendelea hapa kuchemka na Orone 254 network, mambo yanazidi kuchemka with ATAMBO JANAI the chief wenyewe. Lakini hata I think you should come in this show maybe other day, time.
We will be having a lot to discuss about. I will be there.
And I want to still maybe your mind maybe on the press side, the freedom of press.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Article 33-34 is working?
When we're talking about the press freedom, one of the challenges that we are having is what we call censorship. And when we talk about censorship, this is where those in government are trying to control, to alter, right, and control the dissemination of information to the society. And that is very, very dangerous. The media is termed as the fourth estate. Are you seeing that? That after the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature, we should also have the press that is there to oversee what all these other arms of government are doing. So this fourth estate, that moment you sabotage it, that moment you start bringing a lot of censorship, you are limiting the information that is reaching to people. And trust to me, it is not only affecting the society, it is also affecting you as the government. Are you seeing that? Assume the government that is running without knowing what is happening to the people that they are running or they are governing. That will be a blind government. So the fourth estate should be empowered, and press freedom should be upheld, so that at least journalists are given an opportunity to act and do their duties without any intimidation. Right now, I tell you, you go to a public office with a camera, maybe you want to cover some story, maybe umesikia kuna mgonjwa ameenda mahali, wanaweza kuitia polisi hata wakupasulie kamera.
Yeah, we saw it on the Gen Z protest.
Imagine. So we shouldn't get that direction. I don't want to talk much about the press freedom, please. The only plea I'm having is that let the journalists carry out their duties. And my fellow journalists, the only thing I want to tell you is that please, the issue of brown envelope, desist from it. You are killing your profession. You are killing your people. Trust you me, that moment you kill a story, a very serious story that is touching on a society, you are killing the people there. You might receive 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, but imagine of the suffering that you could have caused those people who could have benefited from that information reaching the right ears that can act and give them a solution and help. So please, let us embrace the press freedom and uphold it. Yeah, sure. I know sometimes we have self-censorship where journalists are having problems. According to themselves, there are threats. They don't want to cover some stories because of other issues. But please, the end is let the press freedom be upheld. The MCK, we are calling upon you. Come and intervene. We need you. We need to know what is happening on the table. I think that's a discussion for another day, so that we can ensure that we strategize and put measures in place to ensure that press freedom is upheld.
Thank you for honoring the invite. Maybe the other day, another time, maybe to talk about a chat over on the Orone 254 network. You should just feel free and feel comfortable to be honored again and to be invited in the Orone 254 network. Maybe one thing, maybe you want to tell to your fan, maybe where they can find you, where they can find the social media space.
Yeah, my name is ATAMBO JANAI. Just as I've said, anywhere you're looking for ATAMBO JANAI, I think now we are going to start talking much about politics, because I think that is an issue we need to talk about much. So you can find me ATAMBO JANAI on YouTube, every social media, by the way. I don't have a pseudonym. My name is just ATAMBO JANAI, anywhere and anytime. I do counseling. In case you're feeling low, you need somebody to counsel you, I do that. I'm also a God-fearing man. I love God a lot, because we believe that if you want to be strong, you have to walk with God.
Right.
Or else you'll be very weak. You might have muscles, look energetic and gigantic, but without God, you'll be so weak in this world.
Right.
So we walk with God so that we can be strong. Yeah, sure.
That's from ATAMBO JANAI chief mwenyewe in the building. I hope you have been inspired, you have been motivated, you have been intrigued, your mind sometimes. Najua sahi mambo kwa hapo unafikiria ni hivi ama si hivi, but you have just been, kama hujaandika kitu, huja take anything on your note, should be serious. See you in the next episode. See you, Tavas.